Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a little Project Pan Get Ready With Me where I get ready with you all and I use the products that I am currently panning. So I have a couple project pans going on right now, well, two makeup ones. So I have just my rolling 5-pan project pan, and then I have a Shop My Stash project pan, which is more of like a usage project pan. And then I also have a skincare project pan, which I just had some eye masks on that were in that project. So accomplishing something over there as well. We just got back from vacation. Well, we've been back for a few days, but today is my first day back in the office post being off for a week. So not exactly looking forward to that, but we are gonna make the best of today and have a very productive in-office day. I went to Orange Theory this morning, so I already feel like I've had a productive day. We had a benchmark. It was like a 12-minute run and I got a PR, so I'm happy with where we started today at. I am starting off by putting on my base, which is my Makeup by Mario foundation. This is in my Shop My Stash project pan. I was mixing this for a while when I first rolled it in. I think I had rolled it in last month to my Shop My Stash, but now with like having gone to the beach several times and just being out in the sun with my boys, this is actually quite a good match for me. So I'm just using it on its own now and I have been enjoying it a lot. I actually wore makeup more often than I normally do when I was on vacation this past week, just because with our boys being older and their cousins being older, I felt like we just went out more. This now I'm gonna put eye primer on because I do have some eyeshadows I need to use. I didn't even bring my eyeshadows on vacation with us because I knew I wasn't gonna pull for them, but I can use some eyeshadow today. The bright side about being back from vacation is that we leave in less than 2 weeks to go on another vacation. Just like ridiculous, and I would not have planned it this way, but the reason we are going on another vacation is because we are going to 2 of our cousins' weddings. So my cousin's getting married and then Mark's cousin is also getting married. My cousin is getting married in Puerto Rico. If you all recall, my aunt and uncle live there. We visited them last year with the boys. And so we're getting to take them back again. And then Mark's cousin's getting married in New York. So we'll be taking the boys there as well. So just a lot going on. I feel like I need to figure out what my kids are wearing to these weddings and order them because I don't have wedding attire for my 5 and 2-year-old right now. All right, I'm just gonna grab this shade from the Il Makiage palette. It's called Boogie Shoes. The brush I was looking for was not in my makeup bag. Okay, I'm just gonna grab this on a big fluffy brush and just like put it into the crease and all over the lid. Nothing precise here, just getting a little definition on my eye. I don't think I mentioned when I was doing it, but I set my face with my LYS powder. So this, oh, that's the bronzer. My LYS face powder, that's in my project pan. I used a big brush with it, but it's actually kind of hard to use a big brush with it because there's very little product left in there and it's all around the outside. But I feel like we were able to get what I needed out of it. I do have another powder, this Ciati London powder that's in my Shop My Stash project pan, and I have been using that to set my face, but I do want to get this powder finished up, so I feel like I need to like figure out a way to use it more often. All right, now I'm gonna do bronzer. So going into, I keep getting confused because these look exactly the same. So going into my LYS bronzer. The problem with doing like back-to-back vacations is just like work too. We have so much going on right now. I mean, we always do, I feel like. So it's just really hard to like leave. And when I'm on PTO, I try to be as disconnected as possible. It's not always like perfect. Like I was checking in a few times on this last trip and I was getting scolded by my team, like, stop being on Teams. It does make me feel better when I like log back in, that I'm not like overwhelmed with a ton of messages and emails if I'm like checking in here and there while I'm off. So that's what I do. I did bring my computer with me on this last trip, but I don't think I'm gonna bring my computer with us on this next one, just because I feel like we have a lot to pack with like all the wedding stuff and my cousin who's getting married in Puerto Rico. We're gonna have a welcome dinner and then the wedding and then there's a brunch, and I just feel like I need a lot of like outfits. We're staying at an Airbnb with my parents and my brother and his family, and we need to pack some sort of bed for my little one. So we're doing like this air mattress that we have, but we need to pack that in a suitcase. So it's just like a lot of stuff, I feel like. So not that my computer takes up much space, but I don't need to take it, I'm not going to. So I don't think I am. And then if anything pops up, I'll just have to handle it via my phone, or someone on my team will have to take care of it. All right, so I just put down my Benetton, which is in my regular project pan, and then I want to put on top of it this Rare Beauty blush. Although I had to repress this and now it's like cracked and crumbling again. I probably shouldn't have traveled with it. That was my bad. So gonna have to address that again at some point, but until then I'm just going to be very careful. This blush is so pretty, but you do have to be careful because it's kind of like highlighter-esque. There's definitely like a really fine shimmer to it, and so you don't want to go totally over, at least I don't want to go totally overboard with it, especially when I'm like pairing it on top of a blush that I already have down, like the Benetton. So pretty though. Next is highlight. So I'm gonna pick up my Urban Decay highlighter. This is in my regular project pan. Love this, using this on vacation. I think I've mentioned this probably a million times, but I put this on my collarbones and my shoulders when we were going out if I had a tank top or a tube top on, and it's just a really great way to get some extra usage out of this. I think I'm ready for setting spray. So in my last Shop My Stash, I moved in this Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Liquid Blurring Balm Mattifying Setting Spray. So I had never used this before. I am enjoying it. At first, the sprayer was kind of wonky. It was not a fine spray, and it was like kind of aggressive spray, but then I started using it more and it got better. It was just like, you know, that first time coming out of the bottle. It's doing better now, and I'll show you. Hopefully you can tell that it's a much nicer spray, because when I first sprayed it, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to use this. Now I'm going to set my brows with my ABH brow gel. I'm almost out of this actually. I'm gonna have to either get something else, get a new one of these. I have in my makeup bag the ABH Brow Freeze Wax, so I can also just use that too in the meantime. This has kind of been my go-to since I got it. I've been thinking about getting my brows laminated. What are your thoughts on that? I don't want any tinting. I don't want them looking like much different than how they look. I just like the idea of the fact that like they'll be kind of like in place and look a little like nicer. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that, because I don't know much about it, but like everyone that I see get it done, or like I follow on Instagram and someone gets it done, I'm like, oh, that looks really nice. Same with like the lash tint and lift, although I have gotten a lash lift before, and my one eye looked great like the whole time it lasted, and my other eye got like really wonky, like the lashes got like crimped and just looked not good. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I'll ever get this again, because I don't know if that was the error of the person who did it, or if it was like my user error. I didn't treat them the way they should, but it was, or I slept on them weird, which is entirely possible because I feel like I move around a lot in my sleep. But I don't know. I don't know what caused that, so I've been hesitant, but I do think they look like extremely nice when they're done. Mascara on. This is not in a project pan. This is just my, what is this? Maybelline Falsies Surreal Mascara. I think I got this as a sample. I feel like a mini mascara lasts a long time, so it's kind of nice. I really hope that I am in focus for this video, because I feel like every time I look at my viewfinder, my face is in like the focus frame, but it's blurry. So I apologize if there are parts where it's going in and out of focus for you. That is certainly not what I want it to be doing. I have been doing sourdough for the last several months now. I just like finally was like, I'm gonna try it. Like I have been wanting to try it for a long time, but it was very intimidating. And I was like, I'm just gonna try it. And I've been loving it. I feel like I've made so many different things, and a couple things that I made this week that I found to be really good are a pumpkin like sourdough loaf. I've just had it for breakfast. The boys had it last night. They wanted it for dessert. It's delicious. And I used like a ton of sourdough discard in it, so gut healthy. And then I made like my typical sourdough recipe, but instead of baking like a full loaf in a Dutch oven, I put it on, I have this baguette tray and I made 2 baguettes and they are amazing. And I feel like so versatile. Like I cut them into like little circles and made like crostinis, and we had that with mozzarella and peaches and basil. So good. And then I also just used part of the baguette as like a sandwich and made like this delicious tomato sandwich with it. So I think that might be my go-to way of making sourdough bread from now on, is the baguettes instead of like the big loaf. I'm gonna do my lips, starting first with my Clinique Black Honey lipstick. I don't usually do this because I feel like this lip gloss kind of takes away from the Black Honey shade. This being a Project Pan Get Ready With Me, I am gonna use my Fenty Beauty lip gloss, both of which are in my regular Project Pan. One thing that I realized I forgot to do is put on my LYS powder again. So something that I've been liking doing is after I set my face, just throwing a little bit more powder on. I feel like it helps keep me more, not matte throughout the day, because I feel like I am not matte throughout the day, but just a little bit more natural throughout the day. No really rhyme or reason to it, just getting it in some of my spots that I feel like I get a little greasier than others. And it is nice because it's just, I can use a more precise brush and get into the corners of that product, which helps me with the product usage. All right, so this is the final look for the office, but I will say this is kind of like right now my go-to look in general using all of these products. I hope you all enjoyed this video, just getting to catch up a little bit with me, getting to see how all of this makeup pairs together. It's so fun to film these videos because everything kind of still works the same, but always a little bit different because I have different products rotating in and out of my projects. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.